And welcome to Bearing Down the Gridiron, powered by the Playmakers Network, sponsored by Fanatics, Liz, and Paramount Plus. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Playmaker here. As we closed out season 4 of Bearing Down the Gridiron, we'd like to bring you the best of series, highlighting the moments, the conversations, the perspective that define this year in college football. From breaking news to bold takes to big picture discussions. These episodes are what made Bear Down Gridiron what it was this past season, and we look forward to bringing you all of the moments that we have made. This is the best of season 4 of Bearing Down the Gridiron. Gentlemen, we are continuing the conversation of changes need to be made in college sports.
Changes.
We got to hear from Bruce Pearl Monday. Today, we get to hear from, in most people's eyes, the GOAT himself, Nick Saban. I said most, I ain't say all.
Okay, thank you.
Listen.
I did.
Nick Saban, he had some things to say. And I broke it up into 3 different parts. So, Coach Johnson, well, if you're ready, let me know you're ready for part 1.
All right. Think about it. Test the air. Yeah, I'm ready. Fire it off.
There's anybody in authority in college football except the conference commissioners. Right. So if they can't get together on it,
they won't.
You're going to have a problem. Yeah. But everybody's going to be. I think there's anybody in authority in college football except the conference commissioners. Right. So if they can't get together on it,
they won't.
You're going to have a problem. Yeah. But everybody's going to be sort of having their own self-interest, in mind.
Own agenda.
Shout out to ESPN and College Game Day for this clip. And for the other 2 clips that we're going to use here. But Mr. Johnson, that is the quote from the first clip, sir.
Yes, the former Alabama, Miami Dolphins, LSU, and Michigan State head coach, Nick Saban, and now current ESPN analyst, he had this to say, quote, "Nobody is in authority except the conference commissioners. And if they can't get together, then you're going to have a problem."
Your thoughts on part 1 of what Nick Saban said.
I agree with everything except I don't even think the conference commissioners are in authority in this, personally. I think they're handicapped just as much as everyone else is.
Oh, elaborate on that. That's an interesting take from you.
Okay, well, all right, I'll put it this way. Yes, they do call the shots in terms of how the temperature of the room is supposed to go and how college football is supposed to sway. But I believe they're blindfolded and they're flying by the seat of their pants. And it's like, okay, all right, I think this is the direction we should go. And they grab a dart and they just aim the dartboard. They just chunk it, and wherever it lands, that's what they're going to do. That's how I believe the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten, and the Big 12 commissioners are being right now. I really do believe they don't know exactly where to go, except if it makes dollars to make sense. Besides that, I don't think they know what they're doing, where they're going, or how this is going to end up.
So you're saying there's actually nobody in authority?
Exactly.
Okay. You might have a point there, but I'm more leaning towards Nick Saban because we want to have the playoffs. We want it for the commissioners. We want to make it at 12. We want it for the commissioners.
Again. All right. Let's see what's going. Boom. Okay. Oh, good Lord. So we gotta do it with the traditional bowl system. We gotta do this BCS system. Okay, fine. And then once it ran its course, they did it again. 12? Oh.
And then it's gonna be the commissioner gonna be the reason why they get moved to 16.
Yeah.
Especially after what happened with the first round pass again for the
last 2 years.
So I'm looking at Nick Saban, and I agree with Nick Saban. If you 4 used to be 5, if you 4 commissioners can't get together and help stir this into the right direction. We, the society, we, the college athletes, we, the entire sport of college football and college sports in general, are going to have a problem. And it's not a problem.
And we already have a problem.
And it's a problem that none of us want to deal with.
And we already have a problem.
We ain't get to the part that all of us that can deal with it though. We ain't got there yet. And we hope we don't get there.
No, I hope we don't get there either. But to your last point, that's why I said I don't even think the commissioners are in charge. I don't think they know what they're doing because we already have this problem now.
So I'm on the train with Nick Saban. Coach Johnson, he's 50-50.
Yeah, I'm one foot's on the train, the other foot's staying off of it.
As you can see, the main thing is Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss to LSU. Coach Johnson, hold your peace. You'll get your chance. Hold your peace.
I did not say anything.
I said hold your peace.
I do have a question. I have a question about that, but I'll wait.
Hey, hold your peace. Pat Fitzgerald is
I did not say anything. What? I told you, son. You had one time for the slugs.
You must have forgot you did message me when he made that announcement, so I know what's coming.
I did not forget.
That one ain't no slug. That one was stopping you before you get started.
I know you're setting the table. I know that.
Pat Fitzgerald left Northwestern to go to Michigan State. John Summerall from Tulane to Florida. Bob Chesney from James Madison to UCLA. Ryan Silverfield from Memphis, and I want to choke you if I had a chance, to Arkansas.
So violent.
Why so violent?
Who supposed to be in the American Championship and is not?
Well, I know you picked Memphis to be the team that was supposed to be out of the Group 5 to be in the playoffs. Yes,
but
that's not going to happen.
And you want to lose to UAB.
I just want to remember somebody said that Virginia had no chance this year too.
Yes, I know. I said it.
He was talking about me.
I was talking about him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he want to come at me. He ain't gonna go at you.
I just wanted to throw it out there. I just, I mean, you did say it as well, so I appreciate. Yeah. I appreciate the fact that you say, I owned up to that.
Yeah, I do. I own up to it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So, but here's all your coaching changes and Cool McCain, what's your question first before Coach Johnson lights a fire on the one head coach? And I already know he's lighting the fire up.
So this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit too, but I mean, everybody's watching should be knowledgeable about what's happening. So we got these playoffs, right? College football playoffs. Mm-hmm. So a couple of years ago, we had a team in Florida State that we projected was going to be worse because they didn't have their starting quarterback. It was by far, I think, the best defense in the country. And then get an opportunity for a championship in the 4-team playoff, right? Last year. So they did that.
2 years ago.
Yeah, he said the last year they had the format of 4 teams.
Yes, sir. I was paying attention. So now we have a coach that's not going to be there. And a lot of his staff is not going to be there. The OC is going to come back and call plays, but the new head coach is going to be in place, so everything's going to go for him. So we're saying that Lane Kiffin doesn't matter to Ole Miss. But DeAndre Francois, I believe, is who that quarterback was. Plus, they have so many quarterbacks, it's hard to remember.
Jordan Travis.
But Jordan, yeah, they all tear their knees and get hurt, so it's hard to remember which one was which. Yeah, Jordan Travis mattered more to his team than Lane Kiffin. That's what. Am I understanding correctly? Because they're not being punished at all for losing their head coach going into the playoffs.
This is what me and Coach Johnson talked about 2 years ago when we said if there was a 12-team, it was a 12-team playoff, Florida State would have been in with no questions asked. Oh, but he only had 4 spots.
Okay, but you left them out. But we're not even moving down an Ole Miss team that doesn't have their coach anymore. We're not even moving them down. We're saying it doesn't matter at all. That's the question. So I know sometimes people want to make it, no. The question is, we're not going to change the ranking at all of a team who lost their head coach right before we're getting into the postseason? That the question is not, and let's make sure that we're clear, because I know how you like to do sometimes. Florida State didn't make the 14. Florida State was punished because they lost their quarterback. We're not doing anything to Ole Miss, who lost their head coach, because the team said, no, you can't coach because you're leaving. We're not going to let you finish out the season when you got the boys here. We don't want you coaching. Which, hey,
there's one way I can answer it, but I'm gonna wait till they get to the CFP.
But I just want to understand
part of the show.
Is that reasonable to y'all? Do y'all see how that's reasonable? When we set a precedent, like we've got teams that we're talking about. Oh, if you play the same team that you beat early in the season, now they might beat you, so you're not better than them, and all kind of stuff. But we're not saying, oh, you don't have your head coach. So if you were to play another team that actually has the same coaching staff that's been there all year in the same order, that's not going to affect you at all.
Welcome to the one.
I don't understand the logic behind that.
Welcome to the one aspect about the NCAA that I dislike more than any other. The fact that they operate in the double standard. They operate in the double standard. And I hate that. I hate them for that. And you make a really good point. You make a really solid point, Cole. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to say that if you don't have the starting quarterback of a team, they can't advance to the playoffs. But you can ban a coach, and more than likely that team, another team, is going to be in, no question about it.
I have a different problem.
But I have many more. But I have many more axes to grind with the NCAA, as you very well know.
Yeah, that's just
I have a different problem with this.
That's one of the biggest ones. Okay, what is yours?
So we looking at Ole Miss in the playoffs, correct?
Ole Miss is in the playoffs, correct? Ole Miss is in the playoffs. I mean, come on.
If Tulane had no business this weekend, they're in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, because they were in line to be in the Group 5 representative. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna save it for later, because when I get to the CLP rankings, I'm gonna let everything that I got to say out.
All right.
Because, and I'm pretty sure, Coach Johnson, you probably gonna say part of what I'm gonna say later on. So go ahead and get your axe to grind with one head coach that's going down to Baton Rouge.
What? I have an axe to grind? Moi? I don't have an axe to grind. I'm happy for Monty Kiffin. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is son Lane. I'm happy for Lane. I mean, he said he was making the decision for his family. I mean, that's what he said, right? That, you know, it's a family decision, and that he consulted all of his his mentors, Pete Carroll and Nick Saban, and basically said, you know, your father would tell you, hop on the first thing smoking, get out of Oxford, son. But they wouldn't say that he said that. They said that, but you know full well, Carroll and Saban said, look, Oxford is nowheresville. Now, LSU, okay, it's nowheresville, but it's less nowheresville than Oxford. And if you feel as though you can actually contribute, that's fine. But you know what? I'm happy for Lane. I am so happy for Lane. And this is why I'm happy for him. He's getting that bag. 7 years, $93 million. I mean, he getting that bag. And if Ole Miss goes to the playoffs and wins, he stands to get $1 million. He stands to get $1 million. If they win this year, if they win it all, he gets $1 million. If LSU wins when he's a coach, he gets $1 million. $3 million if they make the playoffs. Oh, and along with it as well, they will pay off the Oxford home that he stayed in with his family, and they will put down $500,000 toward the new house in Baton Rouge he's going to get. So you know, I have to be responsible and adult here. Lane, you're the same age. Well, not the same age as me. You're in the same generation as I am. So you saw the money, you went for the money, and I can't fault you. And if a school's going to put forth that much money, by the way, if you win a national championship with LSU, not only will you get $1 million, but you must be the highest paid coach in college football. I mean, hey, I would have to look at Ole Miss and say, "You rednecks, I'm gonna trade these bunch of rednecks for the bunch of rednecks that eats gumbo." So I understand, I understand, but the fact of the matter is, you're leaving your troops in the middle of your season, and this is supposed to be historic, best run that Ole Miss has had in football in their football history. The best season in their history is this year. And if I'm mistaken, I don't think they have ever won many games in the regular season as this year. But you decided to look for greener pastures. And I felt as though you actually had something working, but I guess no, you didn't. And part of me is smiling because Playmaker thought you were going to head to Gainesville. But you said basically the swamp is not for you. I mean, Playmaker was thinking, "Oh, he's going to follow the footsteps of Steve Spurrier." I mean, he's one of the Steve Spurrier disciples. He's going to restore the chump, the stump, the chump. We're going to be going. Oh, we're going to be clapping. We're going to do the Gator Chomp again. Oh, it's going to be great. And he said, "I don't think so. No, sir. Mm-mm. I want all the gumbo, all the red beans and rice, all the boudin, and all the jambalaya you could serve me. Come on. I want that and the Ed Orgeron, all that I can get. I want all of it. I want all of it. Bayou Country, come on." Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach,
Yes, sir.
is he gonna do his Bayou accent, his integrated press
That I'm glad you mentioned that, Cool, because I was going to say to you, Lane, don't do the mistake the last head coach did, because that East Coast fool decided he wanted to channel being a fake Southern Baptist preacher. He must have seen one of them Jesse Duplantis sermons, thought he would be him and channeled him and did a poor job of it. But I don't think you'll run LSU that way, and I don't think you will act as though you are a fake Southern Baptist preacher. But I would admit, I am going to miss Brian Kelly. I'm going to miss him because he was a riot. However, there is a complaint I do have about you, Lane. Although this year you pretty much have satisfied my quotient. You had the ability to just get in the way of your team, just like your predecessor did. But this year you did a good job. You actually decided not to be that way until you said you wanted out of Ole Miss. But hey, I'll give you a chance, Lane. I want you to prove to all of us that you are one of the best coaches in college football, that you can win a national championship and not be a distraction. Unlike another figure that's in your new city, one Governor Landry, who figured he wanted to actually hire whoever was going to be the next head coach. Memo to you, Landry. You got too much stuff to deal with on your desk when it comes to people, when it comes to education, when it comes to resources, when it comes to policing, when it comes to actually governing. You're not an athletic director. You're most certainly not a head coach, and you're not affiliated with Louisiana State University.
But
you're
he is
the
a clown.
governor of Louisiana. Go ahead, sir.
I was just saying, but he is a clown.
What Cool said. Get and stay out of grown folks' business, Landry. And Lane, I hope you enjoy all the gumbo, all the red beans and rice, all the boudin, and all the jambalaya that your heart can desire. And I hope you lean heavily on Ed Orgeron and drink in all of the Death Valley goodness. Because if you slip up, you will be shipped out quicker than a hurricane will roll through the state. But congratulations, Lane. Although I think you cheated your boys in Ole Miss a bit, I understand. You get in the bag. Get that bag and stay getting that bag, son. One at any time at any juncture. And this will make my co-host very happy. Even after Florida's late season surge in 2024, Billy Napier needed a strong encore while navigating another brutal schedule to secure his long-term future as Decatur's head coach. And after a slow start to this season that featured losses to LSU, Miami, and South Florida, Napier couldn't dig himself out of the canyon this time. And after the victory on Saturday, he was fired on Sunday. For the fifth time since Urban Meyer retired in December 2010, Florida is seeking for a new head football coach. The job has its clear upsides: proximity to recruits, fans, and financial support, as well as the ability to compete for a national championship. But the coaching churn in Gainesville is undeniable. I mean, Meyer won big there, but only for a relatively short time. Florida had 3 straight AP top 6 finishes under Charlie Pell and Galen Hall in the mid-'80s. Otherwise, Steve Spurrier is the only coach to build a sustainable winner with the Gators. Now, athletic director Scott Strickland received a contract extension later this summer. He will be selecting his 3rd football coach in his time and stint there. Now, I'm not the Florida fan. You are, sir. So your thoughts on the smiling jackass getting kicked in the ass?
See, this is where normally I would follow the rules. But I'm going to break the rules because guess what? Let's add this last article in here.
So you okay, fine. We can go with the last article too. Former Alabama coach Nick Saban, who that clown had the nerve last year to say the easiest victory is in Nashville and got your team whooped only 4 days later. I'm sorry, my bad. Said he isn't surprised by the recent string of high-profile firings in college football because fans and alumni who donate money to programs are more influential than ever thanks to name, image, and likeness deals and revenue sharing. Why?
As you can see, there's a method to my madness, sir.
Why would that book? Woosah. There have already been 9 in-season firings at FBS schools this season, including 6 at programs in the Power 4 conferences. Saban had this to say about that. Quote, I'm not surprised because everybody's raising money and pay players. So the people that are giving the money think that they have a voice and they're just like a bunch of fans. When they get frustrated and disappointed, they put pressure on these ADs to take action, and it's the way of the world. Close quote. Yeah, they're sinking money into the program. What else would you think? On Sunday, Florida fired Billy Napier, who was 22-23 in 4 seasons. The Gators owe Napier about $21 million, with half of that buyout due within 30 days. The remainder will be paid in 3 annual installments starting next summer. Then you have former Penn State head coach James Franklin, who's owed roughly $49 million after he got fired on October 12th. The second biggest buyout in college football history. Only Jimbo Fisher's $76 million buyout from Texas A&M following his firing from 2 years ago is more. Saban went on to say, quote, it's unfair for you to go to the Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, to get to the Final Four of the college football playoff, come out and being ranked number 2 at this season, an expectation that you created by what you accomplished at Penn State. And for those people to not show you enough appreciation for that and gratitude for all the hard work that you did, I'm saying it's unfair. Close quote. Shut up, Saban. Stop with the lie. That's a huge lie. I'm sorry. Woosah. This article pisses me off.
Like I said, that's a method to my madness.
I know there's a method to your madness. Auburn's Hugh Freeze, Kentucky's Mark Stoops, Maryland's Mark Loxley, Clemson's Dabo Swinney, and LSU's Brian Kelly, a.k.a. the fake Southern Baptist preacher, are all ones catching heat too after disappointing starts to their season. All right, sir, I will turn the floor over to you. The fact that the smiling jackass is included in this, along with James Franklin and others who were either wanting or begging, in Hugh Freeze's case, for votes of confidence. Your thoughts?
Snowman, forgive me for this.
Oh, Lord.
Give me this camera.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Not give me this camera.
Nick Saban, as much as I respect you, admire you for what you did coaching Alabama. James Franklin was the head coach for the Penn State Nittany Lions for how many years, Coach Johnson?
At least 13, 14.
How many Big Ten titles he won? One.
So
How many national championship games he won?
Zero.
How many national championship games has he been to?
Zero.
But it's unfair that he got fired. Well, one, Coach Johnson, what's his record against top 10 teams?
4-21.
So out of 25 games, that is a top 10 matchup featuring Penn State. Penn State's won 4 of them and lost 21 of them. Why does Penn State only have one Big Ten championship under their name under James Franklin?
Well, they also went 1-12 and 1-11 in that time period against Ohio State.
1-11 against Ohio State. When there was 2 divisions, there was an East and a West, and I do believe Ohio State was in the East Division.
They were.
I do believe Michigan was in the East Division.
They were.
And who else was in the East Division?
Penn State.
Oh, Penn State, which says you couldn't get to the Big Ten championship, but you got there last year. And did you win that one?
No,
a newcomer in Oregon took it from you. Now, how does that look? You finally get there, and a newcomer comes in and take your spot. First year, no hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
No hesitation whatsoever. Oregon just came straight in and say, okay, we own the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
And did it.
Yeah,
as much as my co-hosts don't like Dan Lanning came into the Big Ten and said, I'm taking over.
Oh, I'll give him credit for that, yes. I still don't like him, but I give him credit for that.
So it's unfair, man. That man was there for a decade. Matter of fact, he was there for a dozen years. And what does it have to his name? One Big Ten title. That's it. Rose Bowl win, of course. Fiesta Bowl win, of course. But none of those for national championships. They're just bowl games, which Coach Johnson can't stand.
I'm gonna pull your joystick bowl.
One Big Ten championship. That's all to James Franklin's name in his tenure at Penn State. That's all. What do you want the athletic director to do? Continue with this? Because he's won 10 games every single year, and then all of a sudden, he lost to Oregon. He lost to Oregon in overtime. It's a heartbreaker. It was a whiteout. Okay. You took your ass over the goddamn Rose Bowl to UCLA, and they got their first win of the season. Okay. The AD didn't overreact. I'm going to let him fly back home, fly back to Happy Valley. And then Coach Johnson, what took place afterwards?
A 22-21 ow to Northwestern. Made their third straight L.
Third straight, and you were losing, and you lost to a team who didn't win the game until they saw you, and then you lost to a team which everybody's like, Northwestern.
Oh, you got this in the bag. You a 21-point favorite.
Northwestern. And we have a Northwestern Wildcat in the chat, and he still don't believe that what happened.
I got ran through.
Now that's the James Franklin side of it. And by the way, I commend James Franklin for what he did on College Game Day. He took ownership.
Yeah, he was the way he was supposed to be. I give him credit for that.
He handled it very well. Mm-hmm. Now, let's get to the real reason why Nick Saban ended up speaking. Who just got fired not too long ago?
Nick Saban. No, I'm just joking. Talking about Jimbo Fisher? No, that was
no. I'm gonna give you a nice hint right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, he did just get fired, but okay, fine. Billy Napier, aka the smiling jackass.
This is where Nick Saban really came out.
Why?
Guess what? Because guess what? Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, Billy Napier, all they got in common.
I know they were all assistant coaches under Nick Saban.
You want to know why the smiling jackass is out of Gainesville? You did what you did last year. We told you it's going to be one of the difficult schedules, so we're not looking forward to Florida doing anything important last year. Am I correct, Coach Johnson?
You were correct.
And then, it was ugly. Georgia escaped us because DJ Lowry got injured, and still to this day, I still believe that we probably would have knocked off Georgia if DJ Lowry wouldn't have got hurt.
Hey, probably could have.
You get your ass whooped in Austin. First time you ever met your Austin, never seen the environment before, never been and got your ass whooped. It is what it is. Mr. A.D. Strickland came okay, Billy Napier for the conference. What happened at point 4, Coach Johnson, after we got beat by your Texas Longhorns?
He actually ran the table.
He ran the table. Went 8-5. Okay, we good. We good in Gainesville. We can back off. Okay, we can back off on this one.
A little.
We can back off. You survived the top schedule in college football. Now, coming in, top schedule in college football, yet again, we understand it. But the boys played with some urgency last year. The boys played good football. We looking for enough. And by the way, what record was I okay with?
You said they would be okay with an 8-5 record like last year.
8-5. That's all. 8-5. I mean, you got to go to Miami. Not easy. We get it. Got to go to LSU. They put us in prime time. We know what the deal is with that. So, I was giving leeway. Just duplicate your record from last year. We good. We can go to year 5, and then we can see what we can do from there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I see the schedule. I understand the schedule, and I'm like, yeah, I know there's Gator fans that want to do more, but I'm like, with this schedule, man, we can duplicate last year. We good. We good for now. And then week 2 happened. What happened in week 2?
They faced off against South Florida, and they took an L, seeing a 20-yard field goal saved through the uprights from South Florida's kicker.
Where did that game take place?
It took place in Gainesville.
Right before we had to take our asses to goddamn LSU in a primetime game, which I was religiously said we don't win there in primetime.
And the last time they did, and it still stays true, was 2009.
But what made it worse is my damn quarterback didn't know what color jersey he was wearing. How much money is being paid out for coaches getting fired? $168 million in buyouts owed to fired FBS head football coaches.
They don't care. They're making it rain like it's like they're in strip clubs.
Former LSU coach Brian Kelly.
Former.
Don't worry, you'll get more of the Brian Kelly firing later on. Kelly.
Who would do such a thing?
Kelly's $54 million buyout will bring the amount of money owed to FBS coaches fired this season to $167.7 million, according to publicly available data and reports. Kelly's buyout, which is being negotiated with LSU, is the highest of the 2025 season so far, topping the $49 million owed to Penn State's ex-coach James Franklin, who was fired on October 12th. Now, just give you the run of names of people who have been fired this year and how much they are owed. $21 million is for Billy Napier, fired from Florida on October 19th. $15 million is for Mike Gundy, fired from Oklahoma State on September 23rd. $9.8 million owed to Sam Pittman, who was fired from Arkansas on September 28th. $6 million is owed to Brent Pat, who was fired from Cole's favorite team in the early season, Virginia Tech, on September 14th.
Virginia Tech.
$5 million for Deshaun Foster, who was fired from UCLA on September 14th, and all of a sudden UCLA figure out how to win football games.
Mm-hmm. But it's still getting skunked.
$4 million is for Trent Bray, who was fired from Oregon State on October 12th. $2.4 million is for Trent Devert, who was fired from UBA on October 12th, and $1.5 for Jay Novell, not Mike Novell.
That's a crime.
Fired from Colorado State. Fired from Colorado State on October 19th.
That's a crime.
Mr. Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
$168 million in buyouts.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts, sir?
What you want me to say? I mean, I'll put it like this. This just goes to show how much money these, I don't even want to say programs, how much money these colleges make. If they're willing to say, you know what, we want to win now, and since you ain't winning now, we don't give a crap how much we still owe you. We will buy you out your contract. We don't care if it is in the 8 figures. We will buy your behind out. It just shows you how lucrative this business, and I will say business, is. And you wonder why I say that the NCAA is greedy? This is proof positive right here. You have buyouts in over $150 million that college programs nationwide are owing coaches that no longer are on their sideline. Can't say no longer on their payroll, but no longer on their sidelines. Well, you know what? I got to congratulate all of you, Bobby Bonias. You've done wonderful. Congratulations.
You giving them a golf clap?
Yes. I'm golf capping Kelly and Franklin and all the and Gundy and all them other jokers. They are Bobby Bonilla in the game.
You want to get on screen for this? I think you're gonna be very interested in hearing this. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry told reporters Wednesday that the LSU athletic director Scott Woodward won't be involved in selecting the Tigers' next football coach, saying he'll let President Donald Trump do it before Woodward.
Oh my gosh.
The Tigers firing Brian Kelly on Sunday, a day after his team lost 49-25 to Texas A&M at home to drop to 5-3. This is where Landry said, quote, "No, I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting our next coach." Close quote. Open up another quote. This is what he said a little further down. "Maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners, you know. I'm not going to be picking the next coach, but I can promise you we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful. We're going to make sure that he is compensated properly, and we're going to put merits on it because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country and then leaving the taxpayers to foot the bill. Close quote. So you know what I'm going to do, Coach Johnson? You can have the floor.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Bobby Jindal. Okay, so we want to show how brain dead we are. People have already laughed at you for how you have led Louisiana to one of the worst educational uh, points for Louisiana. I get that you wanted to do this tongue in cheek. I get you wanted to have humor. I get you wanted to laugh and have it be funny, but it's not funny. It's not funny whatsoever. So you actually going to say that the athletic director can't choose who's going to be the next coach for LSU because you are hating when you look from the Capitol or from the governor's mansion what you do not want to see. Huh? Okay. This reeks of when 2 years ago, when the Florida's governor, who still is the Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, wanted to sue the NCAA for not putting Florida State in the Final Four.
Why?
Wanted to sue the NCAA. Was bold enough to say, well, I'm a Florida State fan. My daughter's a Florida State fan. My son's a Florida State fan. And for the integrity of the sport, I feel as though we in the state of Florida, not Ron DeSantis, the state of Florida should sue the NCAA. This is how ridiculous you're sounding, Jindal. Get out of that business. You are meant to govern the state of Louisiana. You're not hired to hire the next head coach for football for Louisiana State University. Or are you actually saying to us that the college is actually governmental funded? Because if you are sure, then you probably should hire the next one. But if it's up to you and you're going to say Trump should hire, well, who should be the hire? Should it be who should be the person to run the program next? Should it be Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of Defense? Should it be Kash Patel, who's the head of FBI? Oh no, it shouldn't be that. It should be Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. No, that couldn't be her. Oh, it could be the vice president, J.D. Vance. Oh no, it can't be because he's more concerned with other things that are much bigger than who is going to be the head coach of LSU for football. Oh, but you could hire somebody like, I don't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She probably would love it. At least you would get the rest of representatives out of their hair. The other 434 will probably send you birthday and Christmas cards saying thank you for getting this bleach blonde bad bimbo out of our head and out of our hair and out of our crosshairs. And the fact that she actually can downward spiral further LSU as the head football coach of that team. Concern yourself with making Louisiana better than it is. Concern yourself with not making it a hotbed for racism. Concern yourself with not making it a hotbed for poor people. And start concerning yourself with when you have disasters that happen. Unfortunately, either New Orleans or Lake Charles has to swim for days at a time, if not weeks at a time, in water. Concern yourself with those matters and not if a football team is 5-3 in your back door. But hey, as Dennis Miller used to say, it's my opinion. I could be wrong. But in this case, since it's the governor of Louisiana, I know I'm not. Let them do that job, son.
Unless they make the portal in May, which I've said before, to kind of match up with the academic calendar, change spring practice till after that.
So, Mr. Johnson, reason why I didn't go into what you were saying on Monday about portal is because I knew I had this coming up. So go ahead.
I figured you would. Well, the coach went onward to say, quote, unless they make the portal in May to match up with the academic calendar, move spring practice to after that, close quote.
Now, before you chime in off the Nick Saban, can you give our football fans the perspective that you had on Monday, and then you go into what Nick Saban said?
I just find this to be ridiculous because you have this system and they don't know what they're doing with it. And why would you actually have this system going on for both basketball and football during its seasons? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Do it to the point where there is no activity or the least amount of activity in your sports calendar. And correct me if I'm wrong, sir, for both basketball and football, that would be late spring and in the summer. So if you're going to do the portal, you have to do it then. Otherwise, it's going to be an absolute quagmire of a mess if you do it during basketball season or if you do it during football season or if you do it during both.
He picked your favorite month to do it.
Well, May is not my favorite month. It's one of them, though. But yeah.
You know what I meant.
I do. You meant spring. But yeah, I again, do that when you have the freedom to tweak, contort, actually oversee all of the action there is. How can you know what's going on in the transfer portal and you're doing this in the middle of your regulars or middle of your season? I mean, I think I get what they were trying to do. Them greedy fools in Indianapolis. I think they were trying to do the NCAA version of the trade deadline that we have in NBA and we have in Major League Baseball and we have in NFL and we have in NHL. I think that's what they wanted this transfer portal to be, and it's a disaster. It's a disaster, as they say in New York. It's a mess.
You have 4,000 football players in the transfer portal. You have over 150 starters in the transfer portal.
Now, and that's the thing. You have them in the transfer portal now. How much sense does that make? January, and they were being in there in December. How can you do this during the season?
And another thing to add to it, which one of the other reasons why Coach Saban said this is because there are coaches from Ole Miss that's going to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them that decided after the quarterfinal game to stay at LSU and not join them for the semifinals. The offensive coordinator, Wise Jr., he's with Ole Miss for the semifinals game. That's another problem when it comes to the portal, because most of the reason why these student athletes are in the portal is because their coaches have left.
Yeah, the coaches from the old program are going to the new programs, and it's quite well, no, we already know this is going down. Recruitment from within is happening.
Same thing with Oregon.
You go on my new team, I guarantee you a roster spot. You know that's what they're saying.
Same thing with Oregon. Dan Lanning, he's losing some people from his coaching staff to new jobs. And guess what they're doing?
Yep. Actively recruiting when they go. Oh,
and guess who's in the semifinals too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another thing, Lemming. We do not need the CFP to end on New Year's Day. Shut it up.
That's a topic for another day.
I know it is, but I need to get that off my chest and aim it at the lemming.
And then one of the most, I, may I speak for you, sir?
Go ahead, sir.
And probably one of the most annoying things that it comes to the transfer portal that me and my co-host hate the most when it comes to the players. Just because you didn't get the result that you were looking for, don't mean you need to go in the portal.
Oh, the portal again. I actually wouldn't mind if they did have a rule instituted. I would be of the ilk of you only get one time in the transfer portal in your eligibility. One. Not one a year, not one a semester. One. So you better make that transfer to the school you want to go to work.
I like that. Actually, I like that. That's a great idea.
If not, you screwed.
Not only that, work on your craft.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do anyway?
Have you not seen this generation lately? And I did not try to sound like Stephen Smith when I did that.
I know. And you're more immersed in it than I am. And yes, I have. And just like what we had, just like we in Generation X had to learn, you Gen Zers, you're going to have to learn too. One of these days, you're going to have to get them nails dirty, get that work ethic in, build it up, and actually do something with what the hard work has garnered you. And yes, I'm looking at you too, Generation Alpha. You got to do the same thing. Hard work gets you where you got to go. I don't care how brilliant you are. I don't care how smart you try to work. Well, I'm going to have myself a ball right off the bat. I can't believe the gold that comes out of people's mouths. Oh, my goodness. Why'd you have to hand this to me on a doggone silver platter? I'm sorry. What am I referencing, ladies and gentlemen? The Florida State's head coach, Mike Norvell. He feels very passionate about his club, and he actually believes that they can win the national championship this year. Yes. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see this. When he was questioned about the future of the program, of course, this is pressures being mounting with another Florida State L. Mr. Norvell doubled down his beliefs that the Seminoles will win another championship. Quote, in the near future. Close quote. Oh, my goodness. Come on, son. You see what you have you see what you've recruited. It ain't happening now, son. It ain't happening until 2026 neither. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Professionalism, Cole. Professionalism. Well, Norvell was asked Monday what he thinks the trajectory is for the program heading into the next football season. Now that they are 4-5, taking a 24-10 L to a crappy Clemson team on. Oh, I didn't mean to say it that way. That sounds so cold.
I think,
but I'm so sorry. But they took it on the chin, 24-10, to a haphazard Clemson squad on Saturday. Now the Seminoles are 2-12 in ACC play, dating back to last year. Now, Norvell gave an impassioned 6-minute response in which he defended his track record while also admitting the results of the past 2 years have been trash. Florida State has gone 2-10 the last season. They went 2-10 last season, and this was after they went to win the ACC in 2023 and having the governor of Florida wanted to sue the NCAA. I'm sorry, my bad. Woosah again. Norvell said, quote, I'm fully aware of the outside narrative around our team is not good. Around me is probably not good. That's fine. That will not affect the job that I'm going to show up and do. I'm going to pour everything I have to this team with a championship expectation. I've actually won a championship, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do it here. Now, that might piss off some people. So be it. They'll be celebrating when we're hoisting up a trophy. And it will be the belief that I see from our players, the belief I see from our coaches, and the talent that I know that our players have, along with the guys that are coming to be part of this. Close quote. Your thoughts on Mr. Norvell, having a belief that the Seminoles will win a national championship probably later this year or sometime next year.
You ain't gonna make it to next season. Like that's you see, Florida State, when y'all came out and said y'all was gonna make a decision at the end of the year, this is what you invited in right here.
Mm-hmm.
This man's believe that he'll still be the coach of Florida State. Florida State fans don't want him no more. They are done with him. Unlike Louisiana, at least Ron DeSantis actually kept his mouth closed for once.
Well, he has to keep his mouth shut.
Jerk off.
Oh, and for those who don't know, Playmaker actually resides in the wonderful Sunshine State. That's why he has such a passionate opinion about his governor. Well, Norvell, who is 37-32 in his sixth season.
And you know the funny thing is?
Yes, sir.
You know the funny thing is?
Mm-hmm.
Ron DeSantis, you're in the same city, so you see the thing every single week.
Not just in the same city. They're not even a mile away from one another. The governor's mansion, you can chunk a stone and hit Florida State from the governor's mansion.
And it's nice to see you shut up. Now, Mike Norvell, I'm not gonna go too hard at you because you're supposed to say the things that you said.
What?
You're supposed to say that. You're supposed to say that because you're in denial.
You're not gonna go too hard on him? What? Wow.
Like you trust me, if a coach was to say something different, you'll go hard at him from even saying anything different than what he said.
You got a point there.
So I'm not gonna go too hard at Mike Norvell. Okay. You're supposed to say what you said.
Okay.
But are you even gonna make it through the rest of this season? That I don't think you understand how mad. It ain't even the fact that you suck this season. You lost to Stanford.
Well, it was in Stanford. It was in Palo Alto.
This is Florida State University we're talking about here, sir. There's no sport that people care about, which is football and basketball, to where you lose to a team called Stanford.
But they were in Palo Alto, so it wasn't at home.
Especially in the ACC conference.
That's what I'm saying. It was in Palo Alto. It wasn't at home.
They still lost to Stanford.
Yeah, well, that's true. They did.
Lose to Clemson. Well, you always lose to Clemson. It's nothing new. It's a back and forth rivalry between y'all. Wow. You lost to Miami. Well, there's a rivalry. Y'all go back and forth. So Miami's on top. It is what it is. Stanford. Matter of fact, who else did you lose to? I want to know.
They lost at home to Pitt.
Well, Pitt got college game day, so that's not as bad as it once was.
That wasn't a bad L, no, but it was an L at home nonetheless.
They are sick and tired of you right now. You want to tell you how I know they're sick and tired of you right now? Florida State fan is not filling up my social medias like they used to.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
So guess what? Mike Norvell, I don't even think you're gonna make it in that season. But I'm not mad at the confidence though. Oh Lord.
You're not mad at the confidence. Well, I'm not mad at the confidence either, but I'm mad at the delusion. How dare this joker actually think that Florida State is actually going to amount to anything in the next 2 years? I mean, I could understand if he said this mid-September when things were going right and you spanked Alabama. then I could say, well, okay, it looks like things on the up and up. Not today, partner. Not today. No. No, son. You need to stop smoking the peace pipe. Stop smoking the peace pipe and stop smoking it now. Because you are hot garbage on that sideline. And I get that you have to be politically correct and you have to rah the troops and all that type of crap. But this is not the 2023 squad where they actually had talent. You now have found out that you are a one-hit wonder. How is it that you probably are as good at your job as Right Said Fred is in music? No, Right Said Fred actually is a group. I'll try Milli Vanilli. I feel much better than that. I had to get that off real quick. Now, Norvell, he has been 37 and 32 in his coaching career and the 6 seasons he has been with the Seminoles. Now, he said Monday that he has fixed the program once. He'll fix it again, saying, quote, I've got elite level confidence for what's ahead of us. I know not everybody wants to hear that. I don't care. I know what's going to be. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have. Also understand that it's not been good enough, right? And the results, they matter, right? But we're going to take that step and we're going to get that job done. Close quote. Before I go onward, I will say this again. Mike Norvell, stop smoking that peace pipe, son. Stop smoking it. Where we're starting actually is in the ACC. Well, actually, it's more Notre Dame than ACC, but you'll get the message. Notre Dame Athletic Director Pete Bavacqua said the ACC engaged in a sustained, targeted social media campaign against the school's football program late in the season and has forever changed the relationship between Notre Dame and the Atlantic Coast Conference. Bavacqua said the ACC, in the process of promoting football member Miami for college football playoff inclusion, also damaged Notre Dame, which lost the season opener to said Hurricanes. Miami made the CFP field as the number 10 seed, while Notre Dame dropped from number 9 to number 11 in the final standings and was left out in the cold. The Irish on Sunday declined an invitation to play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl through an ACC tie-in and ended their season at 10 up and 2 down. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to I have to switch something real fast. All right, let me continue. Now, Notre Dame is an independent football program, but has 24 of its sports teams in the ACC. Back in 2014, the Irish entered into a scheduling agreement with the ACC where they'd play at least 5 conference members per each season. Bavacqua had this to say about the tenuous relationship now between Notre Dame and ACC. Quote, I understand they have to stand up for their teams in football. We just think there's other ways to do it, and it has created damage. I'm not going to shy away from that, and that's just not me speaking. People are a lot more important at this university than me feel the same way. So I think it has done some real damage, and I think the ACC knows that. Close quote. Bavacqua outlined a multi-week social media campaign during which he communicated with the ACC. Now, he said in an initial post from the ACC's official X, former Twitter account that appeared on November 10th, which included a side-by-side comparison of Miami and Notre Dame, caught his attention but attributed it to an individual staffer overstepping. He said the following, quote, quite frankly, I was kind of expecting a phone call saying, hey, sorry about that. It won't happen again. But then it did happen again, and we started to communicate with the ACC, texts that I sent, emails that I sent, and it continued to happen. Close quote. Your thoughts on the now icy relationship between the ACC and Notre Dame?
Go to the Big 12. Go to the Big 12.
There's a reason why I put both on the screen together.
I know. So, all right. So you don't have anything to say individually about this one,
because they all tie together.
I know it ties together. I know how your evil scientist brain works.
Evil? There's nothing evil about me.
Well, it's not evil about me, but that's what you call me.
Oh no, we have evidence, and I have two people in the chat that can agree with me about when it comes to you, sir. So yeah.
I'm going to let that slide.
Victor and Mr. A Pizzle, who is joining Bearing Down the Gridiron for the first time.
Oh God! Oh, what's up, A Pizzle in the house? Oh my gosh, it's good to see you, man.
To confirm that you're not only a mad scientist, but you're an evil scientist at that too.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am mad, yes. Evil, never.
No worry, I got Victor and A Pizzle. They'll vouch for me.
Okay, so it wasn't just the ACC that had commentary or comments directed toward Notre Dame. The Big 12 commissioner, Brett Yormark, took issue Tuesday with Notre Dame athletic director Pete Bevacqua's criticism this week of ACC, and he called his behavior, quote, egregious, close quote. After Notre Dame was left out of the college football playoff field in favor of Miami, who, of course, had a head-to-head victory against them, Bevacqua accused the ACC of favoring the Hurricanes over his school on social media and in league programming. All right, hold on. You think I'm evil now. Bevacqua, your team lost against them. What is wrong with your son? What the implants ain't working, son? Come on now. 2-2, son. 2-2. But then again,
I thought you were supposed to be calm today.
You have no even though you belong to one of the quote most prestigious schools in the country, close quote, you're possessing a brain matter the brain matter the likes of which maybe Antonio Brown would be jealous of. I digress. Yormark, speaking at the Sports Business Journal's Intercollegiate Athletics program on Tuesday, took aim at Bevacqua, saying that he, quote, is totally out of bounds in his approach, and if he was in the room, I'd tell him the same thing. Close quote. Yormark, no, you wouldn't, son. You'd open the pockets, say, throw the greenbacks in it, and then move on your merry way. I'm sorry.
As you can see why I just told you, go ahead and go to the next article. See, I know what I be doing.
I never doubted that. I know you set this up for me too, but still. All of Notre Dame's varsity sports, other than football, belong to the ACC and has since 2014. When they said they were going to play at least five ACC programs. Bevacqua has criticized the ACC in multiple media appearances since Notre Dame's CFPL mission. Now, the ACC commissioner, Jim Phillips, said in a statement on Monday that the conference stands behind its efforts, quote, to support and advocate for all 17 of our football playing member institutions, close quote. Bevacqua, the school is Alabama, not Miami. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should not lose all decorum. Playmaker, your thoughts on Bevacqua talking ill about the ACC and the Big 12 commissioner and the ACC commissioner clapping back on Bevacqua?
Who won 27-24 back on August 31st?
That would be the Hurricanes. And they were up 24-7 going into the fourth quarter.
Who does the Hurricanes represent?
The Atlantic Coast Conference.
Who does Notre Dame represent?
Themselves.
So you're saying Notre Dame is not a part of a conference?
That is correct.
They lost to Miami, who was part of a
That's right.
conference, and that conference being the ACC.
That is correct.
And the athletic director feels some type of way about the ACC defending a ACC school.
Yes.
You jackass!
What in the all types of blue?
Look here. What do you expect?
God.
Because, oh, and by the way, thank you, Stephen A. Smith, because that man loves money so much that he throws out numbers. You know how much money did Notre Dame Fighting Irish get on a football media deal? $50 million.
I was about to say, I know it had to be in the neighborhood of that. I was going to say between 40 and 60.
$50 million.
Yeah. No. And to give proper context, no other school has that.
You know why? Because they all split it. You know what Notre Dame doesn't want to do?
Be belonging to a conference.
Splitting their money.
And why? Because they do not want to lose the money that they get.
But guess what, Notre Dame? Guess what happens? Your ass gets left out.
It does.
Because, you know why? Because you lost to the team that they put in.
Well, I disagree with that.
The team that beat you is in. You're out. Simple.
Now with Bavacqua's done behind, I agree with that statement. But I disagree with that's why they were left out.
I mean, it's the committee. Now, for those of you who want to say that, I'm gonna say that when we get to the CLP. I'm gonna say all that when we get to the CLP and go from there. But let's just focus on Mr. AD himself at Notre Dame.
Yes, Mr. Peter Bavacqua.
You want the ACC to have your back? Take the football program and put them in the ACC, and then they will have your back.
Nick, please, they ain't gonna happen.
And that's why they ain't gonna have nobody's back when it comes to the conference.
That's why no school or conference gonna have their back.
You want to get mad at the ACC for doing their part and their jobs to help make sure, even though they almost screwed it up, to back Miami in.
Royally almost.
But on the other hand, we shouldn't be mad at you for saying, nah, we'll join a conference in the area to split stuff for football.
Well, they have to thank Texas Tech for that.
You two-faced bastard. Get the hell out of here with that. And by the way, let's see. You played what? Arkansas. You played a what?
Whooped them.
A okay USC team. You played a what? A
Whooped
Stanford team. You
whooped them.
You played what?
Syracuse.
A Syracuse team. Okay, you played.
They ended it.
You played a good pick.
Dog walked them. Yeah, dog walked Pitt. They dog walked Stanford. And they had their annual Navy game. Yes.
But there's a team in the playoffs that's named Miami. How did that go?
27-24.
There's a team in the playoffs, and I'm not bringing this up to get at my co-host, but I'm bringing this up as fact. But you played a team that's in the playoffs by the name of Texas A&M. How did that go?
41-40.
Two teams that's in the playoffs beat you.
But I know for Block what you're saying. But we also only by combined score of 4 points. And we won every other game besides that.
But Mr. Johnson, what is your favorite saying when people bring stuff like that up?
What did you do head to head with the opponents that matter? You choked. I'm sorry. I don't have any sympathy for Notre Dame in that regard.
Mr. Johnson don't care if you lost by 1 point out of 100 points. It doesn't matter to Coach Johnson.
No. And the L is an L.
And that's a wrap for this edition of the best of season 4 on Bearing Down the Gridiron here. As we reflect on the moments that shaped this year, we appreciate everyone who tuned in, who shared their thoughts, and helped make season 4 what it was. More best of episodes are on the way as we continue to close out season 4 and transition into the off season. Bearing Down Gridiron will be back, and the conversation never stops. Playmaker Down in Silence here, signing off.